Welcome student. Today we have to see Raman spectroscopy. Now first of all, see what is Raman spectroscopy. This spectroscopy was studied by scientist Dr. Sir C.V. Raman in 1928. Now, in this Raman spectroscopy, when a monochromatic light, is allowed to pass through solid, liquid or gas, then there is scattering of light takes place, and this phenomenon in which the scattered light has some additional frequencies as compared to that of incident monochromatic light. This phenomenon is known as Raman effect. What is it called? Raman effect. Means in Raman effect, what happens? The monochromatic light is allowed to pass through solid, liquid or gas. Then what happens? There is a scattering of light takes place. Scattering of light takes place. Okay, after this what happens? Scattering of light takes place, and this scattered light has a frequency. The frequency of scattered light is different from that of frequency of scattered light is different from that of incident light. Okay, means this effect is Raman effect. What happens in Raman effect? In Raman effect, when monochromatic light is allowed to pass through solid, liquid or gas, then there will be a scattering of light takes place. Light is scattered, and this scattered light has some additional wavelength, some additional frequency or different frequency from that of the incident monochromatic light, and this is called as Raman effect. If suppose, and this light, monochromatic light, what is mean by monochromatic light? Monochromatic light means light of one and same wavelength of a fixed frequency, means monochromatic light. Okay, now after 1928, further in 1930, Dr. C.V. Raman got Nobel Prize in Physics for this effect, which is known as Raman effect. As far as the Nobel Prize is concerned, this effect is very important. In 1930, Dr. C.V. Raman got Nobel Prize in Physics in study, due to study of this Raman effect, or for the discovery of the Raman effect, that is scattering of light. Now here, if suppose we consider the scattered light and incident light, suppose nu I bar is wave number of incident light, and nu S bar is wave number of scattered light. Okay, then no doubt this nu s bar is different from that of nu I bar. Okay, but further there will be delta nu bar, which is called as a Raman shift. This delta nu bar is equals to del nu bar of incident light minus nu bar of scattered light, where this nu bar is a wave number of incident light, this nu bar is a wave number of scattered light. And you know there is a relationship between frequency and nu bar. Nu equals to c by lambda, that's why nu equals to c into 1 by lambda means nu bar. This is the nu bar, this is the frequency, this is wave number, this is frequency. Okay. Now if suppose if this nu s bar is less than nu I bar, this is less, this is more, then what happens? This implies this delta nu bar is positive. When it is positive, then it will be called as Stokes lines. The lines observed in the Raman spectra is Stokes lines when nu s bar is less than nu I bar. Okay, try to understand. Here these two are different according to Raman effect, but possibility is that sometimes this may be less or this may be more as compared to this. That's why the first condition, if nu s bar is less. Now contrary, if this nu s bar is greater than nu I bar, then what happens? Then this equation implies it will be negative, and if this Raman shift will be negative, then it is called as anti-Stokes lines. What is it called? Anti-Stokes lines. Okay, and when this nu I bar is equals to nu s bar, then delta nu bar is equals to, if nu I bar is equals to nu s bar, both are equal, this implies delta nu bar equals to 0, and this is called as Rayleigh scattering. What is it called? Rayleigh scattering. Means in the Raman effect, what happens? Three types of lines are there: scattered light, Stokes line, anti-Stokes line. Okay, when this is so, the frequency of incident light is equals to frequency of scattered light, then delta nu bar equals to 0, and such a scattering is Rayleigh scattering. Diagrammatically, if we see this, then it is observed that first of all, if we consider then scattering experiment, suppose the light is allowed to incident and this incident light gets scattered. Suppose this is the wave or light concerning with the incident light, and that's why its wave number is nu I bar. Okay, after incident this light gets scattered, okay, and it gets, then its wave number is nu bar, nu s bar. Okay, now when both are same, getting it, this is suppose incident light and this is suppose scattered light. Okay, both are same, then what happens if we plot it on a photographic plate? Then such a line will be observed, and this line, at this line nu I bar is equals to nu s bar, and this is called as Rayleigh scattering. Okay, But if suppose this will be the wave number of incident light, nu I bar. Okay, after scattering it comes to up to this. Now from this it is clear that this nu S bar, what is it, nu S bar is less than nu I bar. Okay, that's why it is a Stokes lines. It is for Stokes lines, means Stokes lines are observed here. These are nothing but Stokes lines. Okay, to the left side these are Stokes lines. Okay, now opposite to this, if the scattering of light takes place in a such a way that if suppose this is the wave number of incident light and this will be the wave number of scattered light, okay, it will be greater, means from this diagram it will be clear that this nu S bar is greater than nu I bar. Here this is called as anti-Stokes lines. Means you know, when this Raman shift delta nu bar is 0, it will be 0 when the intensity of, when the frequency of incident light is equals to frequency of scattered light. That is frequency in terms of wave number, means nu I bar is exactly equals to nu S bar. Okay, then and then this is what it will be ray light scattering. Okay, now if the intensity, if the frequency of scattered light is less than incident, then the line observed to the left side, this is Stokes lines. And on the other hand, if nu S bar is greater than anti-Stokes lines are observed on the right hand side, this is for anti-Stokes line. Okay, this is about the Raman effect. Now this Raman spectrum is a characteristics of that substance which gets scattered due to the incident light. Now after this we have to see some characteristics of Raman spectrum. Now first characteristic of Raman spectrum is that the intensity of Stokes lines is always greater than that of the anti-Stokes lines. What is there? Intensity of these Stokes lines is more as compared to intensity of anti-Stokes lines. Now further, second characteristics is that Raman shift delta nu bar is generally lies within the far and near infrared region. This delta nu bar may be 0, may be positive, may be negative. No doubt you know raylight scattering, Stokes lines, anti-Stokes lines, but this will be observed within far and near infrared region. Now third characteristics of Raman spectrum is that Raman lines are always symmetrically displaced about the ray light scattering or ray light line, and the Raman lines are due to the change in the polarization of molecule. These Stokes and anti-Stokes lines are symmetrically displaced about this ray light scattering. Okay, and this is due to the polarization of a molecule. A molecule means four characteristics are known to you from Raman spectroscopy, and very important characteristics. Okay, this is Raman spectroscopy or Raman spectrum, or this is about Stokes lines, anti-Stokes lines, and how the Stokes and anti-Stokes lines are equally displaced about around the raylight light in symmetrical manner, and what is the relationship between their frequencies, that is frequencies in terms of wave number. We have seen it in diagrammatically. Okay,